Welcome to Breaking the Silence After Midnight. What keeps you up at night? This is the podcast where sleepless thoughts find space to be heard. Now tonight we will be addressing the unspoken words that keep us awake as we explore relationship conflict and the conversations that continue long after everyone has gone to bed. Now, have you ever lain awake replaying a conversation you wish had gone differently? Have you ever said, "I'm fine," when what you really wanted to say was, "I don't think you understand me anymore"? Perhaps someone you care about has looked at you and said, "You've changed." And you couldn't tell whether it was an observation, an accusation, or perhaps a warning. But what happens when one person in a relationship begins to grow in a new direction? A new career, retirement, personal discovery, a different dream, or even a new boundary can change more than one person's life. It can disrupt roles, routines, and expectations that once made the relationship feel familiar. The person who is changing may be thinking, "Why can't you see who I'm becoming?" While the other person might be slightly wondering, "Will there still be room for me in the life that you are creating?" These questions can surface in a marriage, a friendship, your family, or even a professional relationship. A friend may not understand your new priorities. A family member may continue responding to the person you used to be. A colleague may interrupt your life because they interpret your growth as competition. Someone may view your new boundaries as rejection, or your new confidence as distance. And rather than risk an uncomfortable conversation, we sometimes just say nothing. But the words we refuse to speak during the day often become the thoughts that keep us awake at midnight. Now tell me, do healthy relationships require us to remain the people that we were when those relationships just began? Or can they expand to accommodate the people that we are becoming? Here's another question for you. Can we celebrate someone else's growth without feeling threatened by it? And can we address conflict honestly without believing that one difficult conversation will destroy the entire relationship? Now, these questions resonate with me personally. After retiring from the corporate world more than 2 years ago, my identity began to change. I moved from working within those structures that were managed by others and managing teams within those structures to managing my own life, my dreams, and the person I still want to become. But as I have moved forward, I have discovered that not everyone who knew the person I was can easily relate to the person that I am becoming. And that's where tonight's conversation begins. Now, researchers use two terms to describe our beliefs about this: destiny beliefs and growth beliefs. Now, destiny beliefs says, if a relationship is right, it should work naturally. When significant differences arise, we may interpret them as, evidence that the relationship is just no longer working. Now, growth beliefs offer another possibility altogether. They say, even a strong relationship has to be cultivated. People can learn, adjust, resolve conflict, renegotiate expectations, and make room for one another's growth. So, which belief tends to show up when you change, and when that change creates tension? When conflict enters a relationship, tell me, do you immediately wonder, maybe we were never meant to be in the first place? Or can you ask, what might we need to learn? Or how might we need to grow? And when you begin to change, do you give others an opportunity to understand your growth? How do you expect them to recognize the new you without ever even explaining what has changed? Now, although these concepts were developed through research on romantic relationships, they also appear when friendships shift, when family roles no longer fit, or a colleague develops new goals, new confidence, or new boundaries. Perhaps the most important question is not simply, are we really meant to be in one another's lives? Perhaps it is, are we willing to grow within one another's lives? Because even when relationships can grow, change can still make us uncomfortable. It can disrupt familiar roles, challenge our sense of security, and bring fear to the surface that we don't always know how to express. There are 3 fears that often shape the way we respond to one another. The fear of no longer being enough. The fear of being fully seen. The fear of disturbing the peace. There are some of these fears behind the unspoken word that just follow us into the night. So that's why we're here. Let's break the silence around each one of them. Now, beginning with the fear of no longer being enough. Here's a question. Will your growth make me less important? Think back to a time when your life changed. I don't know, maybe you graduated, started a career, or earned a promotion. What happened to the relationships around you? And if someone else's life changed, how did you respond? Might the unspoken words have been, I'm afraid your growth will expose my lack of growth. When one person earns a degree or starts a business, develops new interests, or gains confidence, or establishes new boundaries, someone close to them may interpret that growth as comparison rather than inspiration. And we have seen how these fears can appear. They can show up as minimizing the other person's accomplishments, like, that's no big deal. Or competing instead of celebrating, resisting new boundaries, or become overcritical or controlling. Sometimes that's the person has changed as though it's a portrayal of some kind. On the many nights when I can't sleep, I sometimes pass the time by reading and researching topics just like this one. Because research suggests that when someone close to us outperforms us in the areas that are tied to our own identity, it can threaten our self-esteem and create uncomfortable feelings. But I also discovered a relationship concept that is called, of all things, the Michelangelo phenomenon. It doesn't mean sculpting someone into the person we want them to be. It means recognizing and affirming the person they want to become. At our best, we help people that we love move closer to their own ideal selves. So perhaps the question is, can I celebrate who you're becoming without interpreting your growth as a judgment of who I am? Will you accept the person that I am becoming? Now, I have been writing for as long as I can remember. Whether I was searching for just the right words for a short story, finding ways to spur an audience to action, or just pouring my innermost thoughts into a journal, writing always brought me immeasurable joy. But deciding to become an author and actually publish my books took a long time. Maybe it was that familiar, we've all heard it before, imposter syndrome asking, what makes her think she knows anything about that? I was truly afraid of how my thoughts and insights would be received. Yet, 5 books later, I am still standing. But truth be known, I also have an unpublished romantic mystery and crime thriller just tucked away, ready. And sometimes I wonder, am I hesitant because that book I'm talking about reveals a different side of me, a side that people may not be ready to see? When you are concerned about someone and how they will perceive the ways you are growing and changing, the unspoken words might be something like this. Am I afraid if I tell you who I'm becoming, you may no longer accept me? Personal growth can change our priorities. They can change our needs, our boundaries, our beliefs, and expectations. Revealing those changes requires vulnerability. We may remain silent, not because we don't care about the relationship, but because we fear rejection, we fear judgment, ridicule, or we just fear being misunderstood. This is different from the fear of loving again that I discussed in my book, Many Winnie Pearls of Empowerment. This fear is about emotional exposure within a relationship that already exists. Do you fear that if you speak honestly, you will be fully exposed? I've read research on everyday interactions, and it suggests that personal disclosure can deepen intimacy, especially when the other person responds with understanding, acceptance, and care. In fact, sharing emotions appears to matter even more than simply sharing facts. So when vulnerability is met with care, it can help create psychological safety. So a central question for someone who feels distance growing in a relationship might be, does this relationship give us permission to reveal who we really are becoming? Or does it require us to keep performing who we used to be? Think about it. And this takes us to our second fear. And that is the fear of being fully seen. While we're preparing for this episode, I had an opportunity to answer that question for myself. Someone quite close to me asked, what would it mean for you to feel fully seen for who you really are? And I thought about it for a little bit. And I responded, I want to be seen as a free spirit, capable of giving in unimaginable ways to those who are willing and deserving of it. I want to be seen as a creative and talented individual who always is up for trying new things. I also want to be seen as independent, yet willing to learn and grow with others. And I want to be around people who see me as all of those things and still want to be with me despite my shortcomings. Thus, that brings us to our third point, our third fear, the fear of disturbing the peace. Should I remain silent rather than risk changing this relationship? I think back to a time when I worked with a team of sales consultants who all got along famously. We strategized, collaborated on projects, and shared sales presentation techniques. And after some time, I was promoted to lead that very team. One person needed more coaching to become just a little more effective. Now, because we knew each other as both colleagues and friends, I hesitated to confront the issue. Then I had to ask myself, am I afraid that saying what needs to be said will damage what we have? People sometimes confuse peace with the absence of disagreement. We remain silent, suppress resentment, avoid difficult topics, or repeatedly say, it's fine. But being quiet does not always equal peace. Sometimes it is a simple postponed conflict. This fear can produce withholding, emotional distance, passive-aggressive behavior, and of course, repeated avoidance. Communication and satisfaction often reinforce one another. When communication improves, a relationship may feel stronger. Now, when dissatisfaction grows, even a simple conversation can become so much harder. So ask yourself, by staying silent, are we protecting the relationship or merely protecting ourselves from an uncomfortable conversation? I know these are a lot of things to think about. But tonight, we named 3 fears. The fear that we are no longer enough. The fear that others will not accept who we are becoming, and the fear that honesty will disturb the peace. Each fear leaves us with a question. Can we recognize what is underneath the conflict? Can we say what has remained unspoken? And can we make room for growth without losing one another? Growth does not automatically pull relationships apart. Sometimes what creates distance is not the change itself, but our fear of just talking about it. So, if a relationship matters, perhaps it's time to begin the conversation. Not to prove who is right, but to understand who each of you is becoming. Honest conversations can help close the distance. I want to thank you for joining me as we explored the unspoken words in relationships that keep us up at night. Until next time, keep making room for growth. Growth in yourself and in the relationships that truly matter to you. Stay tuned for our next episode as we are breaking the silence around recognizing when the body is asking or begging to be heard. How we deal with health concerns and chronic pain after midnight. Until next time, good night.